Hello people, I am Jaby Koay. Today we're gonna talk about Wonder Woman. First we'll start off with non-spoilers and then we'll go into spoilers and I will let you know loud and clear when we are making that transition. So let's start off with my expectations. They weren't high. After seeing the other DC films and not being very happy with them, my expectations were really low for this one. I was expecting maybe a loud popcorn action film with some story there, then I go home. I got the complete antithesis of that. 20 minutes into the film, I realized, whoa, this is my favorite DC film so far of the recent bunch. All around, this is just a really well-crafted film. It's a relief after the other DC films. And now I apologize to the DC fanboys who really like those films and defend them. It just didn't resonate with me as much as it did with you guys, but I really like this film and I'm recommending it to everybody. It's one of my favorite comic book films to date. Let's start off with Gal Gadot. I wasn't the most impressed with her in Batman vs Superman. I think that in picture she looks great as that person, but when I was watching her in the movie I was like, okay, sure. But here, she really embodied that spirit of Wonder Woman. She brought that person to life, and I was actually impressed. She moved me. I was quite moved. And Chris Pine was the perfect complement. You needed a male actor in there who wasn't gonna steal the show, who wasn't gonna dominate the film, who was going to be a leading man that complemented the lead of the movie. And he did that very well. He was funny and he was fun to watch. It was just great. The chemistry that they had together was wonderful. I couldn't think of a better actor to put in that position next to Gal Gadot. My only criticism is a small, minute one, which is how Gal Gadot moves when she's running and deflecting bullets. Again, I am openly admitting that this is a minute, silly thing. That's my only one. Everything else was great. The action was great. The story was great. The writing was great. I mean, everything was just wonderful about this film. I'm gonna buy it. I'm gonna watch it again. I'm gonna go to the theaters and watch it again. It's worth watching again. It's so well done. I'm so happy. So one of the things Patty Jenkins talked about in her Q&A after the film, the huge inspiration for her, which is Christopher Reeves' Superman. There was something very special about that film for her. I mean, it was special for me too as a kid, but I'm just relaying what she said. There was something very special about that film for her. The spirit that that film had, she wanted to give that to Wonder Woman, and that she did. It was a little bit of role reversal, of course. It was very much like watching the spirit of Superman imbued in Wonder Woman. It was like, wow, like that was Patty Jenkins' objective and she successfully pulled it off. I was just like, yeah, that's what you were going for and you did it. I'm like, When I first heard Wonder Woman's theme song in Batman vs Superman, I was a little bit put off, to be honest. It's not because her theme song sucked, it's just because the theme song felt a little bit out of place. It didn't complement the rest of the music score in Batman vs Superman. Whereas here, the score was crafted around that theme song and it worked really well. When her theme song came on, I was excited. I'm like, yeah, this is awesome. I'm loving this. This is great. Yeah, her theme song was great here. It worked really well, and the music around it complemented it. So one of the things you'll hear me complain about a lot when it comes to action films of recent years, and when I say recent years, I mean the last 15 years, the camera's often like really up in the character's nose. You can't discern one thing from the next, so it's just kind of chaotic looking. You kind of understand there's a fight scene going on, and then the fight scene's over. You can't really truly appreciate the choreography. The reason why it's shot the way it's shot is to make you feel like you're in the action, but I think what's often lost is the beauty of the choreography. Here, you got the best of both worlds. The camera was moving a lot in a way to complement the action. You didn't lose sight of what was going on, but it also didn't feel like it was stale. The camera moved a lot and it allowed you to see everything going on at the same time. It felt kinetic and it felt visceral and intense, even though it was allowing you to see what was happening and appreciate what was happening. The big reason for that is Patty Jenkins has to be a team player. She has to be someone who's like, I'm open to ideas, give me the best ones, and I will go with that. I am familiar with the people who are behind the scenes, the stunt people and the crew shooting those fight scenes. I'm fairly certain that they were offering her a lot of suggestions and she was like, yes, that's cool, let's do that. Listening to her talk in the Q&A afterwards, I feel like that's definitely what happened. She's very open-minded because she wanted this to be the best movie possible. It really was. I could nitpick a couple of things here and there. Some scene work, I was like, oh, I wish the acting was just a little bit different here and there. But overall, this was just a super well-crafted film and I'm excited to watch it again. So if you're wondering whether or not you should check it out, go check it out. It's much better to watch on a big screen. Go see it. Now, let's get into spoilers. If you don't want to hear any spoiled stuff, then leave and then come back. after you've watched the film. Spoiled stuff. I don't know what the hell I'm saying anymore. David Thewlis as the actual bad guy. Let's talk about that for a second. The fake bad guy, who's played by General Eric, is Danny Houston. The bait and switch was really, really well done, especially for Wonder Woman. When you see her going through that revelation, like you're feeling it with her. When she stabs him and she's expecting this to be done and over with, but all of the bad guys are still doing their bad guy thing, and she's like, what's going on? What's wrong with people? And that dialogue that she had with Chris Pine, I was like, wow, I'm feeling what she's going through. She's seeing the curtain being pulled back for the first time. That was rough, and I felt that with her. After that, the revelation of David Thewlis, he was very justified in his perspective. One of the great things about this film is it's got a really good bad guy. And the reason why he's such a good bad guy is not only that he's a wonderful actor, but you kind of buy his perspective. You're like, you're a crazy person, but I see why you feel that way. We're not the best, and I see why you'd want to destroy us. I don't agree with you destroying us, but I get why you'd want to. He's a great bad guy. That's like a great component to a film. That moment when Chris Pine, takes off in the airplane and he has to shoot the tanks behind him and it explodes. It killed me a little bit. I was like, oh, God damn it. I mean, I knew it had to happen in order to keep this in line with the other films that are to come, but it's still like, it hurt. I'm like, oh, damn it. And I felt Wonder Woman's pain in that moment. It was great because it empowered her to conquer the bad guy. I was like, yes. I mean, it was totally the hero's journey. This film very much followed hero's journey end to end, but they did such a good job that I forgot that it was doing that. I forgot that we were going through the hero's journey. I just got lost in the film, in the story. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Let me know in the comments below how you felt about it, if you've watched it, how you feel about my opinion of it, if you think I'm going overboard with how much I enjoyed it. Yeah. Check out other reactions, reviews, short films, and video game related videos. I'm Jaby Koay. Peace out.